Folks, David Waring here again with InformedTrades.com and today's lesson of the day. In our last lesson, we continued our course on futures trading with a top-level overview of how futures are traded. In today's lesson, we're going to continue this discussion with a look at some of the details of this process so we can better understand who the players and entities are that are involved in executing our trades. So let's get started.
In addition to abiding by the rules and regulations which are set by the exchange, those who wish to have access to the floor of the futures exchange must buy a seat on the exchange. There are a limited number of seats available on each futures exchange, so the price is set by supply and demand. Generally, the more active the market, the greater the profit which can be made by the owner of a seat on the exchange, and therefore the more it costs to purchase. To give you an idea of the cost, a seat on the NYMEX, which is where crude oil futures are traded, sold for $750,000 in July of 2008. While owning a seat on an exchange can be expensive, there are many advantages to owning a seat, which many feel justify the cost. First and foremost, floor traders who get access to the floor of the exchange by owning or leasing a seat have a large advantage over the general public when placing their trades in non-electronic markets, as they can react to news much faster than someone who is trading off the floor of the exchange. They can also see and feel the intensity or lack thereof in the market they are trading, because they can see all the trades being made right there in real time. As more and more markets go completely electronic, this advantage is disappearing, however, which puts everyone on a more level playing field. Lastly here, seat owners have access to much lower transaction costs, which can turn strategies such as short-term scalping, which would not be profitable at a higher transaction cost level, into a very profitable strategy. As the price for a seat on the exchange generally fluctuates with supply and demand, owning a seat is like owning any other asset, in the sense that the owner reaps the benefit or loss from an increase or decrease in the price of the seat. A seat owner can also make money by leasing their seat to a floor trader or brokerage firm who would like access to trade directly on the floor of the exchange. Lastly here, firms and individuals that wish to make money by executing orders which come in from off the floor can do so by owning a seat on the exchange and charging a commission for executing client trades. Don't have a spare $750,000 sitting around to purchase a seat on the exchange? Well, fear not, as the large majority of futures traders do not trade on the floor of the exchange, but conduct their trading by telephone, or even more commonly nowadays, directly from their computer. As we touched on in our last lesson, many of the most popular markets are either completely electronic or give you the ability to trade electronically, giving traders from all over the world the ability to transact in the futures market from wherever they have a computer and an internet connection. For those of us who trade futures from off the floor of the exchange, we do so through what is known as a futures commission merchant. Futures commission merchant is basically the regulatory designation for the type of firm that is approved for opening client accounts and accepting client trades in the futures markets. The FCM, in turn, either owns their own seat on the different exchanges for which they offer trading, or has a relationship with a firm that does. To make things simple here, the FCM is to the futures market what the stock brokerage firm is to the stock market. Just as in the stock market, the FCM earns their money by charging a commission to execute our trades, which can vary in size depending on what the FCM is offering and the level of trading activity in a client account, something which we will discuss in future lessons. That's our lesson for today. In our next lesson, we'll begin a new module on how to place trades in the futures markets, so I hope to see you then. As always, if there's any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and good luck with your trading.